Morning friends, happy Thursday, and as usual before we start it's creator credit time to I Am Sage over on X Twitter. Give them a follow, who won the internet yesterday with this little ditty which the clarity of is amazing, calling out King Charles's hypocrisy. It's brilliant that this military team have rowed across the Atlantic. I mean, that feat of human determination, adventurous spirit, taking those risks to achieve something brilliant is great. And it's absolutely right that Charles should congratulate them, because I'm not being funny, not many of us would want to be in that boat. But the hypocrisy of Charles not congratulating any of the attendees, competitors or family of anyone that partakes in the Invictus Games is absolutely immense. And to be honest, until I Am Sage made it clear with this wonderful piece of writing, I didn't realise how much hypocrisy exists between the things that Charles wants to support and the many blind eyes Charles turns to things that are equally good, if not better, for the service people that have literally served the king and queen of this country. Comments are open, guys, as ever. Have a brilliant day. Let me know what you think. Morning, friends. Happy Thursday. A story that could be a story or it's not a story. It's absolutely incomprehensible, but that's what we normally expect from the Daily Mail, as William helicoptering around the country like some kind of weird Annika Rice on a treasure hunt. Google it if you don't know what that is overheard on microphone talking to one of the people he met, one of his tenant farmers, probably living in poverty, having a conversation about a mysterious Harry who has been poorly and has been feeling under the weather. William, who are you talking about? Are you talking about the Ginger Ninja Hazard? Because he looked absolutely brilliant in the Montecito Sun, doing his usual video address to the whole world, raising money for one of his charities. You know, kind of stuff that we expect the royals to do. And that Harry looked great. So do us a favour, Daily Mail. Give us an illustration, illuminate who William was talking about, so we can, as usual, just ignore him. Comments are open, guys. Have a brilliant day. Let me know what you think. William, when will you get something right? We used to think that Andrew was the problem child in the non-working, scrounging royal family, but maybe that title's actually being passed to William. As we found out yesterday, that on his visit to one of his tenant farmers, I'll come back to that later, to discover green initiatives and understand how farmers are keeping the country green, William travelled by helicopter. And I've got to say, he's in that helicopter more than he's actually doing something else. And if he's not in the helicopter, he's travelling by private jet to the south of France to watch Aston Villa. Now, we all know private jets, helicopters are not green. But the thing that annoys the tax-paying British public who hold the royal family accountable is just the level of deceit and secrecy. It's as simple as that. It's the fact that William and his entourage spend our money and try and pull the wool over our eyes about what's actually happening. Is this a massive scam? So people watching in the US, tenant farmers, obviously William now controls massive estates of land across the UK, which his family basically stole from other people. The farmers that he visited yesterday are tenant farmers, which means they rent the land from William and the family and the cronies. They rent the land. They put their lives into developing a sustainable business on a property that they will never own, paying exorbitant amounts of rent to the royal family. You can't say any more, can you? Comments are open, guys. Let me know what you think. Well, let's face it, guys, we've seen stranger headlines when it comes to the relationship between Kate and Harry, but this story here about Kate wanting to fly over to the States to meet Harry at some point in 2025 was all over every platform, and creator credit time. Thank you, Celeb Bitchy, for setting us up with this lovely montage of images and lovely headline. But this story, in many guises, has been everywhere. I don't know whether this is connected to the material that Harry was provided with to support his court case against the Murdoch Group and Murdoch newspapers, but I strongly suspect it is. Rumours were abound in the hack journalist media community that the content of those files was basically enough to sink the non-working, taxpayer-funded royal family forever. Harry chose to settle and not release that information, which would have ended the royal family's prospects of ever being the same again. And good on Harry for doing that. Is that the reason Kate wants to fly over to meet him? I suspect it is. I think, hear me out, I think Kate will be the non-working, scrounging royal family's envoy to pat Harry on the back, say, thanks a lot. Comments are open, as ever. Let me know what you think.
Dear black girls, the time has come. I have something on my chest, but I cannot hold it anymore, so I'm just gonna say it. I invite you. It's been years. I invite your genes. I can't believe most of you don't even get old. You guys don't age, or what's the problem in here? I don't see the majority of you fine lines under your eyes. What do you mean you're 35 and you look like 23? God has his favorites and I saw it. What about the lips? What about those juicy lips, those nice lips, those lips that looks plump and is natural in the same time? What about the buttock? What about the fat, juicy buttock? You think that's fair? Do you think that's normal? What about that nice skin that when you apply a little bit of foundation, a little bit of makeup, you just get a glow? Yep. I have all the reasons to invite you. You see this lip combo over here? Yep, that's because of you. Because before you, I even hated gloss. I just couldn't see myself wearing gloss. Now this is my lip combo every day almost. And if you ever saw me with braids or any African hairstyle, it's because I loved it on you guys. And it's not because I wanted to be black, it's because I actually wanted to slay in it as well. Why is it just you that you want to slay in it when I can slay in it as well? Overall, I think your genes are crazy good, and I invite you for that, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, but in a good way, you know. I wish I had all these things because there's a lot of things you guys have and I don't, and I spend money on it because I don't, right? Just in case you have any insecurity, I want you to know you're beautiful. And I find myself turning my head after you on the street. So hope this message got to you, and I hope you're gonna enjoy your day, and remember, you're beautiful.
I need every black American woman to see this clip.
If I'm being really honest, Black Lives Matter happened over the summer of 2020, right? And I think that a lot of companies, as we saw, reevaluated like their employee structure, etc., and realized they need more diversity. And I think that also came into the film industry, right? A lot of agencies looked at their books of clients, actors that they represent, and they went, oh God, like there aren't that many people of color. So I think, you know, I happen to be a beneficiary of this social movement that like has obviously done a lot of good for a lot of people.
The social justice movements that black American women start and the work that they do change the lives of people for the better globally. That clip is Charithra Chandran from Bridgerton talking about how she got her start in acting. I really like her. This video is not about her, and I'm really glad she said that, but she credits her start in acting to the Black Lives Matter movement. She is not black and she's not American. She does not live in America, and it changed her life. The Me Too movement was started by a black woman. Affirmative action actually benefited white women the most, and obviously that was started by black people. Black women everywhere, but specifically black American women, have a gift. You guys have a gift. And time again, you benefit the lives of other people with the work that you do. And when it comes to voting season, those same people do not show up for you. White women in America actually voted against their own interests as women and didn't show up for you. Other ethnic minorities did not show up for you. Black American women are exceptional change makers. Your energy, your gift, I'm going to get emotional. You have a gift, and I need you to only use that gift for yourself, your family, and each other. I need you to stop making and letting everyone else be a beneficiary of that gift. Your energy changes lives. Your energy changes countries. It changes government. You guys rose up from slavery to being the number one most educated group of people in America and the most likely to start businesses in America. Y'all are incredible. Like, I cannot express how incredible you are. I need you to pour that energy into you. If all of that energy that you're giving to all these other movements that benefit all these other groups was just focused on you and each other, imagine where you'll be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. It's your selfish era. No one else gets access to that energy, please.
So this lady asks, this black lady, are white women really that scared of black women? And I'm going to say yes. And this is my opinion as a white woman who is 53 years old and has lived in the South in Georgia in my entire life. But it's not being scared, but it's a fear. And it's not a physical fear. It is the mental fear. It is what we see in you and what we see you doing and how it challenges us and the fear of that. So we see black women and we see how strong you are. We see you coming together as a community. We see you supporting each other. We see you supporting your community, supporting your families, supporting your children, going out and fighting for your rights, being authentic in your race and in your femininity. Anyway. And we're jealous. I think we're jealous because we would love to be that, I think, and we don't know how to break out of the indoctrination that we have been suppressed by our entire lives. And I'm not giving white women a pass, don't get me wrong, but I know I and most women have been told, white women have been told our entire lives, be quiet, know your place, be a good girl, don't rock the boat, don't be too much. And when you are any of those things, you are ostracized because you have rocked their boat. And that is what black women are. You rock our boat, our mental boat, because you challenge us to look at how we are deficient and not living in our truth, and it makes us uncomfortable. And people don't like to be uncomfortable. And it makes us start to question ourselves, and people don't like to question themselves. We would rather live in our little bubble of white supremacy and what we know and comfortableness. I know that's not a word. Than a lot of people would, white women would, rather than challenge themselves to grow and know more, because it's easy. Doing the work is hard. It's really hard. I've been doing the work the past several years, and it's hard. It is hard admitting some truths about yourself and some truths about yourself as a white woman. So yeah, I think that white women are scared of black women because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it. And that's why we fear you. It's because we fear what you make us face.
I feel like not enough people are mentioning this. This is Trump's new press secretary. Her name is Caroline Leavitt. She made a big splash yesterday because she lied about a bunch of stuff, but she's 27 years old. Her husband is 60. She is 27 years old. Her husband is 60 years old. Okay? 6-0, okay? When Trump first got elected, she was in college. When she was born, her husband was 33 years old. I feel like we're not mentioning this, so I just want to mention that.
History is a lie. Let's see how another English queen was described. Philippa of Hainault. From Chaucer and His England, page 181. Quote, "She was Queen of England, wife of Edward III. The document itself, which is in Norman French, runs as follows. The lady whom we saw had not uncomely hair, betwixt blue-black and brown. Her head is clean-shaped, her forehead is high and broad, and standing somewhat forward. Her eyes are blackish-brown and deep. Her nose is fairly smooth and even, save that it is somewhat broad at the tip and also flattened, yet it is no snub nose. Her nostrils are also broad, her mouth fairly wide, her lips somewhat full, and especially the lower lip. Moreover, she is brown of skin all over, and much like her father. And in all things she is pleasant enough as it seems to us." End quote. In this illustration, she is depicted blonde, while as we read, her hair was in between blue-black and brown. And of course, her skin is fair, not brown like she is described. Just another indication that this illustration is not historically accurate and was made or repainted after the rise of white supremacism. Much like the two queens we previously covered, the writers don't shun her for her skin color, nor claim it's exceptional that someone who looks like her is Queen of England. That's because people of brown and dark complexions were not abnormal in Europe, especially among nobility. Philippa's mother was Jeanne de Valois, the granddaughter of King Philip III of France. We found that many believe the further back you go in history, the more racist white people were, but that's simply not true. Of course, xenophobia always occurs among homogeneous populations, like early Rome, for example. However, during medieval, late medieval, and early modern times, people were primarily bigoted in religion and secondarily in politics. As we can see in this dictionary from the 1700s, bigot in religion and bigot in politics. These two social factors were the main points men grasped at for motivation during war. Skin color was noted, of course, like we just read, but it was not a point of hatred, as people cared much more about what religion, culture, and nationality a man or woman was. Like and share for more lost history. And that's why we say,
I have to expose a terrible injustice here tonight. Here's the clip.
News personalities for 16.
A graduate of Harvard, she's worked as a White House correspondent and presidential debate moderator. Drew.
Who's Abby Phillips?
No. Willer Mayhall? Drew, you added the S, as you know. Abby Phillip.
Yep.
Come on, Ken. Ken.
What, the S?
Ken, he was so close.
Oh. Hey, that's legitimately
justice
wrong.
Justice for Drew.
It's wrong. That's actually, I feel bad for him.
Yes, justice for Drew.
That was a humble brag that you were on Jeopardy.
The Princess Royal also spoke about slavery and her family's historical ties to it.
A historical perspective, which is slightly different, maybe more realistic.
And which is?
No, the historical perspective, it just goes back a lot further. Mm-hmm. And the modern contexts are very different. Slavery hasn't gone away. Mm-hmm. No, come on.
The words struck Gillian Sunderland, who studies race and history, and whose father's upbringing in Barbados was influenced by its British colonial past.
She didn't even seem prepared for that question, which is kind of very surprising how much kind of her aides and the people around her kind of insulate the royal family from these kind of debates.
Consider it a peek into the thoughts of one royal, just as the relevance of royalty is on the minds of many.
Sometimes what you see is not always what you get, especially when it comes to race and ethnicity. This is revolutionist and slaveholder Gideon Gibson Jr. And Gideon Gibson Jr. and his family enslaved my family in Mars Bluff, South Carolina. The Gibsons in this country, sometimes spelled with a P, are descended from a black Congolese man and a white English woman who immigrated to the Virginia colony, where they became prominent slaveholders. They encouraged their sons to go into the family business of slaveholding, but they also encouraged them to marry wealthy white women, and that way the bloodline would become lighter and lighter. But the Gibsons were always aware of their blackness. Gibson even went to court to have the courts to declare that he looked white enough to be able to mix and mingle with white society in Mars Bluff, South Carolina. As a matter of fact, because he was one of the wealthiest slaveholders in the Mars Bluff area, his green was more important than his black or his white. So this is Gibson's son, Randall Gibson, who became a prominent slaveholder in the state of Kentucky. This family continued to amass wealth by marrying the daughters of prominent, wealthy white slaveholders. But they also continued to have children with enslaved black women. Now here is Randall's son, Tobias, who was born in Kentucky, got married in Kentucky, and then went on to Louisiana to be a slaveholder there. So the Gibsons' wealth, their good educations, and even their allegiance to the Confederacy could not change the fact that they were still partially black. So to all of my European American cousins who are finding me in your DNA pool who are descended from the Gibson family in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, or Louisiana, our connection is not your Eve gene, but that African sub-Saharan gene is your Gibson gene.
If you're going around claiming that you had a black baby because you ate too much chocolate, then you're a bit of a pillock, I can't lie. Then they accidentally miss out that they had black servants, because that's what some of the French aristocracy were saying in their letters. The part I want to get into is this alleged black child at Versailles. So there was rumours going around that the Queen of France, Mary-Therese, was having her cheeks clapped by her black servant Nebo. And then she gave birth to his child. When she gave birth, people were like, babes, your husband is translucent. What is going on here? As this baby was born prematurely and died, it's very likely that there was just oxygen deprivation when she was given birth, and then the baby came out this like purpley colour. However, a black baby was taken from Versailles and sent to a convent, and Louise Marie-Therese was painted by the king's artist, and she was visited frequently by the king and his subjects, and she was also given a pension by the king when he died. And considering this lad was like the communal dick of Versailles, was it his child instead? Louis' sister-in-law did write in 1664 that a child had been born, but all she wrote about was that the child was an absolute munter and didn't say anything about her being black. But there's also eyewitness accounts about the baby's life by Voltaire. He was born well after the shit hit the fan, so... And the memoirs of Louis' mistress, the Marquise de Montespan, was written by a male author after she died.
If you go out today and you spend a literal dime, you should remember this woman. This is Selma Burke. She was born in North Carolina, but she moved to New York City during the Harlem Renaissance. At that time, she started taking classes at Sarah Lawrence College. In the 1930s, she won several different fellowships that allowed her to travel to Europe and study sculpture. In the late 1930s, for obvious reasons, she came back to the United States. And she began teaching art, even opening up her own art school called the Selma Burke School of Sculpture in New York City. And she eventually opened up another one in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania by the same name. The school taught everything from painting to puppetry. But her big opportunity came when this happened. In the 1940s, the White House put out a competition to win a 45-minute sitting with the president to sketch him. And the president at the time was FDR. And Sarah won. And it almost didn't happen because Eleanor Roosevelt was a Class A hater who said that Selma was too young to sketch a picture of her husband. Her sketch and her sculpture ended up becoming the standard for what we see on the dime today.
I just could not live beside them. I don't feel that they should be oppressed. But I moved here. One of the main reasons was because it was a white community. And that's the only place I intend to live. If I have to leave Levittown, I will do so.
Personally, my home life, it has an effect nothing whatsoever. But on the neighbors, they have a right. Because the average white person living in Levittown has 4 and 5 children. Well, let's put it this way. If the Levittown is migrated in hordes of Negroes, which they have a right to come here, but if something that happens that way, pretty soon my neighbor will be having a Negro son-in-law or a daughter-in-law.
Now, that was the 1950s, Levittown, Pennsylvania. This country will have us believe that that was so far in the past that those people just disappeared. Now, a lot of folks say it's more about class and less about race, but we see in that example right there that when 1957, even if you had enough class status to be able to live in a neighborhood with those folks in Levittown, they didn't believe you was worthy enough regardless of your job. I just could not live by them. I don't think they should be oppressed, but I can't live by them. That sounds like a lot of good liberals and conservatives of today's time. The same speaking points. Think about it though. The suburbs of today was created back then in the 1950s, 1960s. There's a distribution of wealth and knowledge that's been passed from generation to generation to generation that still impacts how we live today. And to be clear, it wasn't that many generations ago. My grandmother was born in the 1950s. And her mother, the person that birthed her, was born in the 1930s. Not that far ago. A lot of folks that run the system right now was raised in times and by people like her right there. In conclusion, when we talk about white flight or gentrification or redlining, it's important to acknowledge that it's not just by policy, but also ideology. You see what I'm saying? Education is elevation. Constantly educated shirts available on the website.
Did you guys know that before we called Karens, they actually went by another name in the antebellum era, and it was basically just like coded wording for enslaved people to talk about this archetype of being, and they called them a Miss Anne. So basically bitches like this been existing and been horrible for like the longest.
I read a New York Times piece on a 100-year-old survivor of the Tulsa Massacre. And my question was this: what's the Tulsa Massacre? How is it that it wasn't until 2 years ago that I heard about the Tulsa Massacre? How is that possible? I've heard about Custer's Little Bighorn. I heard about the Alamo. I heard about the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire. I heard about all kinds of disasters in which people died. But I had never heard about this thing that happened in 1921, only 3 years before my dad was born. In the same year that Donna Reed was born, we didn't hear about this thing that happened in which essentially one of the most successful black communities in America, Black Wall Street, in which everybody was not only burned out of their homes and their businesses, but then driven out of the city limits by an angry mob of, I'm sorry, white people. How is it that this was not taught to me? And that's not right, and it made me mad.
Oh man, Tom Hanks.
The first woman to serve a leadership role in the Black Panther Party was Kathleen Cleaver. She's 78 years old now, and I would love to pick her brain on the wisdom she has about the history of criminalizing activism. Her and her husband served leadership roles of the Black Panther Party, and they both was forced into exile because the FBI was criminalizing them. Literally, this funny-looking man right here was the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, and he deemed the Black Panther Party the biggest threat to domestic security. Do y'all get the context of what's going on here? The first woman to hold a position of power in the party as a spokesperson of information, secretary of information, just so happened to be having that position when the FBI is criminalizing all information about the party. If you want to learn more about Kathleen Cleaver, go check out my top-ranked history podcast called Black History for Real, where you can learn more. We've already did episodes about Assata Shakur, Afeni Shakur, and Delane Brown. The only thing left to do is for you to go check out this podcast, wherever you listen to them at, and figure out why it's ranked so high in history podcasts, man. Thank y'all.
My name is Ida Schultz. I'm third generation from slavery. I live in Philadelphia. I received my public school education here. I went to college and graduated in home economics education. Answering President Kennedy's call, I went on into the Peace Corps, serving there for 2 years in the mountain community of Pisac, Cusco, Peru. So many people ask me, why have you become so bitter? You've been given everything that any young American could ask for. Well, the whole thing is, just because I've been given everything, it doesn't mean that I should be satisfied. As a matter of fact, I've become very disgusted knowing that my own black sisters and brothers have not had the same opportunity. I feel as though I've been used again. I feel as though you've bought another token. And what I'm disgusted and tired of is tokenism. You say, well, you know, if you're nice, we'll let you live next door to us. And if this happens, we'll do this. Well, what I'm asking for you to do is to stop doing us so many favors. The only thing that we want is not your friendship, is not your love, is not to live next door to you. But we want to know if we should so desire to do this, the opportunity is there.
Nonviolence is a very non-functional approach in a society that's based entirely on organized force and violence. A country was created in violence, land was taken in violence, society that's perpetuating itself through violence in the ghettos, in Vietnam, in Africa, wherever you look. There's organized force and violence at work to maintain the society. There's a world of difference between 20 million unarmed people and 20 million people organized and armed to the gills. That's power.
Hey, you remember that story about that African princess who was orphaned and then went into slavery and then somehow found her way into British royalty? No, it's not ringing a bell. Well, I'll tell you, but if I teach you something, you better make sure that you like and share. All right, let's go. Meet Sarah Forbes Bonetta. Sarah, actually born under the name Omaba Aina, was born in 1843 and was actually princess of the Yoruba people in West Africa. Her life would forever change when a war with the nearby kingdom of Dahomey would leave her orphaned and a slave to the king of Dahomey himself. She would later be liberated when she was deemed as a gift for Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria actually became very fond of her. When she arrived, she was immediately impressed by her intelligence and she embraced her as a goddaughter. Because of this, she would go on to become quite a bit of a celebrity. Although she would always maintain a good relationship with the queen, she would soon marry a wealthy philanthropist, move back to Africa, and have 3 children. Maybe it's me, I just feel like that's crazy. Make sure you like, share, and come back for more facts.
Hello, my people, Lady Rose here. How y'all doing? To all my new subscribers, you're welcome. And my returning subscribers, y'all know I love you. Oh my goodness, look at the outside. It looks terrible today in Denver, Colorado. Yeah, if you were planning your trip here, don't come. This Donald Trump world, it doesn't really look good. It has bad spirit in it. Yeah, I tell you, the weather is so terrible. It's so gloomy outside, I can't even see. You know, well, but guess what? It is what it is. So yeah, y'all heard what the Minister of Hacks said about Make Mambas. Make Mambas said she wanna, like, apparently the news was everywhere because, you know, these days I'm not going on that X thing. That X, I do not like X. I don't like the owner of the X. I don't like anything about X. Maybe sometimes I might go there. Sometimes I do go there to check on my brother Baron, the royal success, or check on Isabella Banks. So, and Zandy Success, all those good squaddies on there. I do kind of roam around sometimes just to look for gossip. So I did not go. I haven't been there for approximately a week or so. So I heard McMambos. You know, this lady, I just can't stand her. I do not like her. I do not like what she stands for. I do not even like her name. Yeah, well, girl, please. Yeah, I don't like you. I do not like you, Meadowbum, Mambolina, I do not like you. So y'all heard that Mambo wanted to go to meet with Prince Harry. Prince Harry, there is no reconciliation with this family. These people have to come to you and ask for proper forgiveness and tell you they were sorry about how your wife was treated by them, by the Kensington Palace, how they reported all the lies and exposed you guys' plan when you traveled and left the UK. They called the haters to hate on you. They need to come and give proper apology to you and your wife before you're gonna accept any kind of apology from them damn people. These people are not good people. And that Mambos thought she was gonna have some kind of like a valuable place in that monarchy, but which she doesn't, because guess what? She's unintelligent, untalented, a lack of everything. She lacks every single thing. I don't even see beauty in that person. I don't even know why that guy ended up marrying that social climber, the yacht girl. I mean, yeah, I do not like her. She's going to come to meet with you? No, say no. Tell her if you want to come meet with me, you know what? You know how to do it best, Harry. You know how to work those people out. You know how to work them up. So, work this one also. You know, because the rumors are out and the news are circulating. They're circulating on here because that's what the Minister of Hacks, the Brother Martin, say. So if that's the truth, guess what? You tell me, Commambos, write a letter, apologize to me, apologize to my child, apologize to my child's mother, Prince Archie's mother, who is the Duchess of Sussex, the pretty Meghan Markle. You need to call her the Duchess that she is and apologize to her, Princess Meghan, Princess Harry Windsor, Princess Harry Wells. You need to call the Princess Wells, Meghan Markle, and apologize to her. If you do not apologize to my wife, do not ever say my name in your filthy, dirty mouth anymore. Stay out there in your misery and your mamas at Buckleberry where you be sitting down there drinking that yellow wine. Sit down there with your mama and wear those scarf of yours coming straight from some goat's mouth. That's what you need to do. You are a divorced woman. You know, when you're divorced, you sit down there, try to figure yourself up. That's what you do. You do not get divorced and then start looking weird in public wearing two hair colors that does not really match each other. We all know that your marriage is broken, but don't come expose it out here. You still, people still considering you that high class. Do not traumatize people. People still have trauma by Princess Diana. And you as people just want to hang around and still believe you still hanging out in that house when we know Bulliam is hanging out with Rose Hanbury. You ain't got nowhere to stay near you, Bulliam, because he cannot stand you. We saw you around those Holocaust people by his face. I saw his face. I know a man, when a man want to be around a woman, how they look, and when they do not want to be around a woman, how they look. Yeah. So, I scared some men away. That's why I know when a man is scared or doesn't want to really be around you in the same room, or maybe when you're going through those divorce, I tell you from my own history book. Yeah, I'm not telling you from somebody else's history, I'm telling you from mine. I know a man, when you got some issues with them, how they look like, and when they're like in good relationship with you, and they also look different. When you're trying to attack them, you're trying to attack and lay their dirty linen in public, because that's what you did. You know that minute when you popped out to buy those eyeglasses? Girl, I thought you were still a young woman, but girl, you can't even see no more. Girl, I never seen you wearing any kind of glasses before. I never seen you even posing with some kind of eyeglasses. But girl, I tell you that divorce be done with some people differently. You know, some gangsters, ladies like me, if we divorce, we just happy as out there around the corner. But girl, that divorce doesn't look no good on you. I'm telling you, you need to sit down there and call that sir. That with Sir Richardson, because guess what? Those are your exes from the yacht. Those are the fathers you used to hang around. You know, those people can easily give birth to you, but guess what? You know, the gold diggers, they don't be looking at no. They don't be looking at those age. And you know, girl, you ain't looking to make no damn babies. Sir Richardson, all his semen is already burnt, and you eggs also rotten already. So I don't even think you got some in incubator there that you did save for a later child. So girl, please. So Well, you're still 43. I believe you might probably just give birth with that shot surgery. But I heard this Twitter guy also was kind of like trying to look for some women to give some birth to some kind of extra kids. If you're smart enough, maybe you're gonna try to look for that dude's number. Yeah, that one there. They call the dude like Ilona. Yeah. So that one. Yes. So are you gonna look probably for that Ilona's number? Because I heard Ilona was buying a compound in Texas, and that Ilona wanted to kind of like I wanna go to the next subject. Prince Harry, you are not meeting with this bitch. You not meeting with her. You know meeting with this witch. No. And you know why these people probably want really to meet with Prince Harry? Because they want him to be quiet about everything. And guess what? I'm sure that monarchy, especially the Queen Escort, called the newspapers, called the monarch guy. She went like, guess what? You want to be alive in this UK? You want everything to look good? Please do not sell us. Take this money, give it to my stepson Prince Harry so he could shut up, because I do not want our dirty laundry to come out in public, and that's what the kid is aiming for. So guess what? Let's dim the fire, put that lamp under the table. Murdoch, pay the kid so that he won't come out here and lay out everything out in public, because this nonsense started in the year 19 something, and that 19 something, that's when I was cheating with the father. And yeah, that's why when I was laying down with that dude and leave Andrew Parker ball and the ball guy, I was leaving that ball in our bedroom then. So I used to come to Charlie Boy and do the doo-doo-doo-doo. So guess what? Until Charlie Boy became my tampon, the Tampax series. What were you guys calling those stuff back then? Cortex. Yeah. That's what they called them back then. So that's what I want all those stuff to lay down dormant, because you know that is kind of malignant cancer. You know that cancer, I do not want cancer to come out in public anymore, because that damn cancer is a malignant history about my damn filthy mistress life. Guess what? Clean the thing, the path. Give my stepson a few millions, and he ain't gonna come down here. And guess what? Offer his mama apology, because I should have done that thing like up front, but because I'm so arrogant in my mistressness class, I cannot apologize for what I did to Princess Diana. So y'all do it instead for me, Murdoch. So that's why Murdoch, when apologized, they wrote that juicy, beautiful looking letter and apologized to the queen of people's hearts, Princess Diana. May your soul rest in peace, my queen. So guess what? Yeah, so right now here, I believe these people trying to backpedal. They're trying to get with Prince Harry. So they're like, well, guess what, Kate? There is no your name mentioned directly in lots of stuff. There is just that speculation about the racism towards our kids, their kids' color, and that's still a rumor, because the rumor came from Piers Morgan. So guess what? You still have that opportunity. You can go there and talk to him and be good to him. But baby, Prince Harry, you know what? I'ma tell you something. You remember back in the history when there used to be KGB, there used to be some kind of juice, and that juice used to be bad one. Yeah, that's with a P and ends with O-N, poise. O-N, yes, boys, O-N, yeah, that thing that they used to give that to people. So don't be so nice to them people, because you know those people, you know what they stand for. This Mambos ain't got no soul. That bee sold her own soul. She sat down there waiting for this dude for 10 years, and to sit down there with heart, it's so something. It's stone-like. She is terrible somebody. You know what your brother used to do? Your brother lay down with every single girl around that campus there in that St. Andrews, but that bee said, guess what? I'ma look for fishnet and with that fish net, I'ma catch that fish. And guess what? Eventually, she caught that fish. She caught bullion fish. She caught that whale. Yeah, she did. So she's on mission. Yeah, don't be playing with her. You not welcoming her. You are not talking to her. You not responding to her damn phone. And I like that I didn't even see that you sat down there and sent her a birthday wishes on the 9th of February. Yeah, I did not see that. That's approximately like 20 days ago. So you did good. So on that note, I'm kind of loving you, everything that you do. I'm praying for you, good, beautiful children, your beautiful wife, the Princess Meghan, and yeah, stay there, okay? Yeah, so did y'all hear what also Martin mentioned about your brother, Bullion Willie Leaks? He was mentioning your name somewhere. But you know, the person he's mentioning, that Harry, he's saying Harry is under the weather, Harry is sick. It could be some Harry that dude be laying down with. You know that dude, you know this, the history of those pulled pork. Yeah, the pulled pork sandwich. The pulled pork. Yeah, well, you know, you want to know all those histories, go to my brother Baron there, the Royal Success. He gonna tell you about those pulled pork, the pulled pork sandwiches. I tell you, that dude, you know, that Harry, those Harrys might be some different Harry that dude be talking about. He be talking about those Harrys that he do with. Yeah, and you know that dude be do lot of stuff. Yeah, there are lots of rumors, and you know all those rumors where they do come from. They come from tabloids, and you know the only people that the tabloids don't lie about are the fake working royals. Those one with the HRH. Their tabloids got Jews on them. Yeah, they got the pulled pork sandwich histories. They got the chitty on the Hansbury and all those. They got the chitty on Hansbury's husband. All those Jews stuff. So them people, the only person they do sit down there and write lies about are you and your wife, Meghan, Princess Meghan, and you, Prince Harry. And anything they're telling you about Mambos, anything they're telling you about Willie Leaks, take it as it is. It's the truth. Yeah. So that Harry, that dude be talking about, I'm sure that is Make Mambo's rival. One of them. Yeah, I believe there's a few of them, but that Harry that he's talking about is one of them. Because guess what? He went dated someone with his brother's name. So because I know for sure he ain't talking about you, and he ain't gonna talk about you these days, especially when you won all that big case. And yeah, you took that money, but you did good things so you could clean. You could at least cover their dirty linen, because that dirty linen was gonna be like washed out here, and I was gonna take a portion of those laundry and dry them in my own dryer. Yes, you know those dryer, I bought them like from Kuwait. Yeah, that's what it's called. That Kuwait dryer, I was gonna take some of those royal laundries and come dry them in my Kuwait dryer. I was not gonna play with you. So yeah, Camilla, you should just be lucky. Yeah, that kid has good heart. Had that been me, I take all those dirty laundries and sell them, but it was not worth it, because had he waited and when those people accepted the guilt according to their people's rule, their monarchy court, that court kind of really works upside down, you know. The rule of their law is kind of really upside down. It's so corrupt. So if you win the case, you're gonna have to pay the court fee for the person you sued and all those nonsense. But he was smart enough. He's like, I ain't paying nothing for these criminals. I'ma take some dollars from their pocket. Take those dollars, gonna help you charity with, and you have children to raise. Screw them all. So you did good job. So guys, I'm gonna leave this thing right here. I gotta go work, and I have a history that I did post there for y'all guys. Please write and comment if y'all guys want me to start posting all those old history about everything that happened back in the day, because you know I'm fascinated by history. I really love history. For some reason I wanted to become a history major when I was little, before I went to psychology school, and then I was like, no, I need to go there so I could learn the brain of these narcissists, how they functioning here. So that's why I never went to history school, but I really love history. So I'm hoping y'all enjoyed it. So please drop down and comment if y'all guys want me to start collecting those videos for you from the people, these good creators from TikTok. It's a handful of them. It's a lot of them. I cannot remember lots of their names, but please do me a favor. Go on there and go follow those pages that gave us some juice, some pieces of those history. So I'm gonna talk to y'all again in a few more days. Please subscribe to Isabella Beck's channel. Let's get the 6 sister to 10,000 subscribers, and also let's get my brother Baron to 100,000 subscribers. I saw there he is almost at 61 or 62 something thousand. So let's get working and share his videos, because it doesn't really look like we're moving anything. Yeah, on my channel, I do appreciate y'all guys for those 12,000 subscribers, but I'm telling you, those 10,000 subscribers looks like I have some ghost, because I don't know where those numbers came from, and the numbers are not really giving any views. So to get those views, guys, please keep sharing my videos. Yes, share my videos, and then we're gonna get those views, okay? So do me a favor right now, after you watch this video, send it to other platforms, and on Facebook, on Instagram, and all Twitter, so we could get some views on there. Okay, I do appreciate you. I love y'all guys. Y'all take care. I'm gonna bring some more juice in a few more days. Bye bye for now.